for the stars, but they always get away. We gonna take charge, we never gonna hate. All we wanna do is build, take it to another phase, on another level where we never gonna budge. And we want our paper back so you can go ahead and judge. Never cover up, we are doing what we love. Never wanna reach the finish cause we're having too much fun.
Hey guys, it's Phantom Piggy. I am back. I took a little bit of a 2-week break because I was doing a lot of stuff for a new series that's going to be coming up. I'll keep you posted on that. I've been working on a trailer. It'll be out sometime within the month. Or next month, I mean. November, I guess. But let's get into today's video. There is a Death Star DLC, which I got 2 days ago. I noticed that there is a new game mode, Battle Station, and it's very complex compared to every other game mode. There's a bunch of different stages of it, there's different strategies, and there's certain things you should and should not do depending on your skill level. And I didn't get this right away. I thought maybe somebody else might, not either. So I am going to cover most of the things that you should and should not do when playing Battle Station mode for both the Rebels and the Imperials. Let's get into today's video.
Now this is a story all about how...
Okay, so for this game mode, on this stage, the Rebellion has to take out the Star Destroyer in front of the Death Star while the Empire is trying to stop them. Now, the number one thing you need to know for Rebellion, and this kind of goes for both, know your jukes. You gotta juke out some of the players, because if I die, then, and you're going to die, everybody dies. Look, right here, I died. Now, the Y-Wings weren't there, but if they were, it would be wasting a lot of our Y-Wing time when we could be taking out the Star Destroyer. Now I'm on the other side of the map, so I'd be just wasting the Y-Wing's time. I wouldn't be able to do it. So learn them jukes so you don't die so much, and you'll have a lot of time to do stuff. Also, going through the debris, that's a really good way to juke, obviously. But if you go actually through the debris that have the holes in them and stuff like that, that's the best jukes. That's your best bet. Now, if there's a player guarding the TIE Fighters, which you have to get the TIE Fighters in order for the Y-Wings to show up, if players are guarding the enemy TIE Fighters, then you're going to have to take out the player first. And this is where numbers really come in handy, because it's a lot easier for you to take out a player and then have enough speed, have enough cooldown and everything to also take out the TIE Fighter it was guarding. That's why if you had a friend, one could take out one dude, one could take out the other, or you could gang up on them and then gang up on the other. Really, the choice is yours, but the greatness is in numbers. And last thing I really want to get into is, you could use the Millennium Falcon, but that only benefits yourself. I suggest you use Red 5, Luke Skywalker, because not only can it benefit himself, but he has the wingmen that have also damage buffs, so that really contributes more to the whole team than just yourself, and it can really do that much more damage to the Star Destroyer. So definitely take advantage of Red 5. Okay, so stage 2 of the game mode, the Rebellions have to get R2-D2, who has the plans of the Death Star, so they know how to destroy the Death Star, just like they did in Episode 4. Now, there's plenty of hero pickups around, so obviously you have to go for that, but don't be selfish. Don't use a lot of the Luke Skywalker and lightsaber wielders, that type of thing, because, I mean, yes, it's a very short-range map. It's a very close-quarters map, so you would be very OP. But that's really only doing yourself some stuff. So obviously there is more than one hero pickup, so maybe one person could be. But I also recommend going with somebody who has area attacks, like maybe Chewbacca and his ground slam, or use someone who has honor guards like Leia, stuff like that. Stuff who has more ranged attacks instead of going to one specific person, because the Rebellion or the Empire is going to group up on R2-D2, so you're going to need to know how to get all that kind of stuff. That being said, you also should have the cards in like the hand for people who are trying to group up, like say impact grenades, ion grenades, thermal detonators, that type of stuff. Some close quarter stuff like the scatter gun. Jetpack would not be a good thing here. We don't need anything like that. I'm trying to think what else could be there. Dialysis grenades, those are always fucking horrible for people who group up. So just anything that's a group thing that would damage more than one person at a time, get it, use it, and just use it to your advantage. Only other thing I gotta say about this one is, as soon as you do have R2-D2, and I really shouldn't have to say this, but you'd think, or at least you'd think I wouldn't have to say this, but I do, stay as close to R2-D2 as possible. If all your people group up and walk with R2-D2 as he's walking to the ship, it's a lot harder to attack R2-D2 when you're being his meat shield. I don't want you to necessarily get kills when you're trying to get R2-D2. I mainly want you to be his meat shield. So you're going to die. If you're a hero, it still goes with heroes. Especially heroes, in fact. Be R2-D2's meat shield. I can't express this enough. Be his meat shield. Because if they attack him, he's going to stop and they're going to take him and you're going to have to rescue his ass all over again. So, be R2-D2's meat shield.
We used to be so perfect. I would get
Okay, so the final stage of this mission or game mode for the rebellion is we have to destroy the Death Star. Now it's gonna pick a bunch of different pilots, or at least 3 at a time, to hit the different checkpoints until they eventually find a little hole from the movie, and you shoot it down, and you blow up the Death Star, and you feel badass when you do it. Now, this really depends on your skills as a pilot. Now, if you're really bad as a pilot and they pick you, just fly above the trenches. And then when you see a checkpoint in the trench, just swoop down in it and just pull right back up. You don't have to do it. And if you miss it, just get out of the trench, turn around, do it slow. You don't have to do it full speed. Just do it fine. As long as you get that checkpoint, you have done your team a good deal. Now, another thing. Be, just like what I didn't do, be very, 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 very aware of your surroundings. If you're going to go in the trench, X-Wings do look badass in the trench, but I recommend an A-Wing if you're not so good. Because it's really tiny, so it's a lot easier to swoop into things and go faster and all that kind of stuff. Has speed boosts. It's a lot easier. But if you just can't fly in trenches at all, you can just do all you can defending outside the trench. There's plenty of people that don't fly in the trench, so you can still do a great deal. But really, just get that in there as fast as possible. Don't let them shoot you down. Once again, use Red 5 as much as you can. Use Luke Skywalker's X-Wing as much as possible. It really does help this round. So for stage 1 as the Imperials, you're going to want to try to follow the bots as much as possible, because if they can't get the bots down, then there's no way their Y-Wings can come in. And if the Y-Wings do come in, and this is going to be really cheap as hell, but just camp at the freaking Star Destroyer. Especially the key points like the life support parts and the communications bridge and that whole thing. It's kind of a bad thing to do, but it's the best you can really do. But keep in mind, if you actually successfully do it, then the game is over and you automatically win. You don't have to worry about the last 2. But that's basically all that I can tell you about. And I forgot the name of it, but Darth Vader's ship, definitely take consideration into that, because it gives you wingmen, which are just like the Red 5's wingmen. They give a slight boost. You can see me right now trying to shoot the dude down. It just doesn't work. He's really freaking good, but it's a really good thing to do. So definitely use Darth Vader to your advantage. So for stage 2 as the Imperials, you're going to want to get as much healing stuff as possible. And that would include something like stem cell, or what's it called, adrenaline stem. The I think it's called the Nacta bomb, the healing bombs. Medical droids. I don't personally have some of these stuff, but medical droids. all that type of stuff. Anything that can help, any sort of support stuff that can help out. Also, personal shields would work, because you're going to have to be grouping up, and they're going to try to get you all with group stuff, so you're going to have to be able to counter that with some shields of some sort. But group together, and unless you die, you should not be anywhere else besides right next to R2-D2. You've got to be next to R2-D2 at all times in order to make sure they do not have it. And you better have some heavy weapons near as well, because if they do get them and they start running, you have to take out R2-D2 quick. But that's really all there is besides that. Darth Vader is definitely overpowered because he's got long-ranged attacks, and it's a very short-ranged map as well. So not only is he an insta-kill with a lightsaber, but he can hit you from across a hallway by force choking or throwing his lightsaber, so that's definitely a thing. But also, look out for Emperor Palpatine, because he's very deadly at close ranges, as well as he has his shock troopers, or his guards. So definitely keep that in consideration as well.
Lights, camera, action. Gone, tell me when to go.
So the third stage is fairly easy. All you gotta do is pick, obviously, any of them. It doesn't really matter. Get in the trenches, go to the checkpoints, wait it out. Eventually they're gonna swing by and just stay on their ass at all times. If you do see them just spawn and they're outside the trench, definitely go for them, swarm them. Now, if you're going to go in the trenches 24/7, I suggest the TIE Interceptor, because the wingspan is not as much, so you can't clip it on anything as easily. It's a lot smaller, it's a lot faster, I think, even. It's a lot more fluent. It's definitely better for the trenches. Another thing is, if you're not too good at flying in the trenches, or just not good at flying in general, that's fine. You don't have to be in the trenches the whole time. You definitely can just stay out. There's plenty of other people that aren't in the trenches, so just go attack them, support the team, make sure our teammates don't get shot down when they're trying to shoot down the main pilots who are a threat to the Death Star. That's really all there is to that, besides, of course, jukes. Make sure you got your juke game on. And last thing I need to talk about is, once again, definitely take advantage of Darth Vader and his wingmen. It is super good. Slave One's pretty good, but it's only really affecting yourself, not much else. And plus, you can't really fly inside the trench. Same goes with the Millennium Falcon. I don't know if I mentioned that, but Millennium Falcon can't really fly in the damn trenches. So you're kind of like a big load of nothing. So just use Darth Vader's stuff so you can have wingmen, so it's just a bigger advantage for just the whole team. But that's about it for the whole video, pretty much. So thank you guys for watching. Definitely leave a blue thumbs up if you liked it, or dislike it. It's really your opinion. Subscribe for more cool content like this, and more unique content. Share this with your friends. It definitely goes a long way. Share it with your dog if you want. If you don't have any friends, dogs are cool too. Never surrender. I'll see you guys later.
Me 2 times, shift gear, 6 gear, mash it till I get there. Philadelphia state of mind until I get my head clear. DMV stand up, Baltimore and what the politics of everything suck. So just man up. Don't know what to stand for. At least I'm still upright. Even those on the down low can be uptight. Not me, I'm me.